I think one of the things for SIG testing is I think we have some areas that are more in need of some additional ownership and just like some redundancy so that we have more of that like pipeline for people contributing. I think EDE, for instance, is like seems all right, although I'd love to hear more from folks about like how that's actually going. But I know the infra side is a lot more like short-staffed. Not like the literal infra managing necessarily. I don't know how like infra working group is doing, but like in terms of working more on the tooling or infrastructure, I think we have like a lot of not necessarily a lot of people who are deep knowing about like what infra / tooling we have or how to improve that, or enough people to approve necessarily.
I mean, infra also has similar problems.
Like the infra working group, or
yeah, the Kate's infra working group, yeah, in SIG, I should say. Limited number of approvers. It's also by its nature a high trust set of activities, but at the same time,
right,
we do need to make investments in various automations that you'd run in an enterprise that allows wider contributors to do things without sacrificing trust.
right.
Like classic example is if you're managing infrastructure, you should probably do it through GitOps, which we do, but we don't apply those GitOps changes through automation though. We get humans to do it. So we didn't do that. We could accept more changes, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is also more of a theme echoed across other SIGs as well. But that makes sense hearing that that's happening for Kate's infra. Yeah, so hey folks, as usual, if anybody wants to pause, unmute and introduce themselves, feel free to. I think we got kind of started on like talking this time, but I'll give that call for now. Cool. All right, other than that, I think we have a short agenda today. I just have the one note on an update that we can give at KubeCon. If anybody wants to add any other things to discuss or add other things to the agenda, please do so now. I'll go ahead with the update thing, which is basically, I believe we have there's a slot in general for like project updates from various SIGs that will be played, I believe, at the KubeCon keynote. But basically there's a cap of 1 minute. It should go through with like preset slides for like updates and other things you want to call attention to for the SIG. And there's a little bit of requirements on filming it. So I think we've got 2 things here, which is, are there updates that anybody wants to give? So either updates or yeah, updates or requests that you want to put in, so that we should call out more. My main idea here is like, honestly, there's a lot of stuff I think we could do. I know that we have a couple places in SIG testing that straight up don't really have ownership. And that might be a good place to start, is like, we're looking for people to like start contributing here and maybe like have a path to owning those components. KubeTest and Boscos are the ones that I'm mainly thinking of, but there's probably other ones as well. And then the other one is anybody interested in giving this update? Because I don't think it has to be restricted to like a chair or a lead or anything necessarily. I think it's somebody who is willing to do the recording and the slide put together.
No, when is the deadline?
Deadline is Thursday.
Okay, 2 days.
Yeah. Apologies. I put a call out in the Slack, but also I think I forgot to mention for the filming. I was kind of assuming I would do it by default if nobody else does. But
I mean, I do have a few things I would like to add to that. Let's see, what did we do?
Yeah, I figured there's a bunch of stuff that people have done, especially since probably last KubeCon in A. So I feel like at least the kind of thing I think that would fit like in a quick summary on a single slide, but I think there's some stuff that we can call out. And Tony, I also don't know if you know more for like some of the stuff that you or Patrick have done.
You mention me,
Yeah.
Michelle? I don't know. I mean, I'm very shy to to do this thing.
You don't have to record necessarily, but like if there's any significant updates that have been done that like you want shouted out for project update, that's also like I'm happy to put together a slide for stuff. I think it's going to have to fit on a slide altogether.
So any updates from the end-to-end stuff would probably be good. I think there's been quite a few. At least that's the most active area that I know of.
Yeah, I think that the two main topics for us is all this refactor that Patrick was doing, and the transfer of the CI to EKS, Amazon, and this multi-cloud CI. I think that
Yeah, I was thinking about we have started running some of the core KK CI tests on AWS. I think it's the first for the project.
Look, I think that's good for two reasons, right? One is I don't think that many people had this problem, right? This Kubernetes CI, you are doing. I mean, you are starting to. We are starting to suffer all how huge it is and how difficult it is to have multi-vendor, multi-cloud, and everything. So I think that that's a topic that we should highlight. And the other, the best practices from Patty. Definitely, you should add something about all the challenges, all the work, and all the importance of having this multi-cloud CI.
Is that going to be stepping on like the infra working group's toes too much, or does that sound like that'll still be relevant for us?
Well, I
describing a use case that they've facilitated, right? I mean, the SIG-Testing work group's job is to get a ton of CI somewhere, right? And then
Right.
we can talk about some of the cool things that we did with it, right?
No, that's a good point.
There are a lot of lessons learned, right? It's the CPU in some thing doesn't match the other. This we are failure with the that test were slow. I don't know. So there was something about authentication or something like that. But what I want to say is this experience. I don't think that many people will have the experience that you're having doing this exercise because nobody has this use case of such huge CI across cloud. So everything that you can add there is going to be interesting for sure.
Cool.
For the dates, it has to be recorded, or what do we want to put some slides together?
I think basically there is a template for like 3 to 4 slides, so it's like very strict in terms of what it needs to be. It has to be kept at a minute. It has to be filmed on 4K, and I think they give some like sample apps to do that. It has to use their slide template because it will need to go up on one of the large screens. And those slide templates, I think, basically are like, who are we? What are the updates for like the SIG, and then like any call outs or shout outs that you want to do. So like calls for new contributors or stuff like that, I believe. Okay, it's intended to be very short.
Well, we need to put something together. Okay. Who wants to work on this?
I can add something to the slide decks.
Yeah, I can link the slide deck, and then if folks want to add to that, that would be great. I can look today to see how the like recommended filming apps and whatnot work. Just because like from what I looked, I think you should be able to film it on a phone. And I should have a phone with reasonable specs. I just want to double check that. if we don't
But-
do this, I think it also isn't the end of the world. It's just like if it's easy enough to put together and we can do it before Thursday, then let's do it.
Yeah, I think that we can have 3 slides minimum, right? The work from this AWS CI move and everything. That's one slide. The other, I will gather Patrick and put something about the E2E framework. And I don't know who can create the document and we add there, or who can take the lead on creating the document and the rest add the slides of each topic to this document.
Let me get the slide template because I know exactly which one we need, and then I can share that out on the Slack channel. I
Okay.
can do that. I'll do it before lunch.
That would be great. So I will add, and Mohammed, you can add the other slide there, and we can have 2 or 3. I mean, I really think that this multi-cloud CI is an important topic, and we should promote it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Thank you, Michelle, for doing everything for us.
It's one of the things where I've gotten like emails about it. So I should double check that those emails are also going to everybody because I don't know if we have the email ownership updated in all the right places. So I'll do that after we have this thing settled.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, I think that is I think that's a couple action items for me and then some for other folks. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say for next, I don't know if you want to go ahead and talk about the spotlight Q&A that we got tagged on.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It'd probably help to have some of the others participate in that because I don't even think me and you could go through and answer all of these in the best.
No, I was just looking through the questions and it's like I can maybe give an answer to some of these, but I have not been like deeply involved for enough to know all of the answers to these. Yeah, like for instance, how do we arrive at the existing practices? Like I 100% cannot answer. And a lot of my stuff is of course also going to be biased towards like the tooling side because that's the area where I have been involved through. Yeah, so this was basically like somebody noted that they're going through and doing short interviews with different SIGs in order to kind of give a spotlight for the various work that SIGs are doing and what they need help on. So I think this is actually kind of related to like the keynote update, for instance. It's like going about it in a different way, trying to highlight what the SIG is doing and also what questions folks might have. So I think they did say they could interview multiple people to get a good idea. I think like Patrick and I were noting like we have completely different areas that we are experienced in, for instance, and same I assume for basically everybody here. But I think we can pick like, or sorry, my thought is we have like 2 or 3 people I think who capture like a pretty good variety across SIG-Testing, and then like yeah, that's fair. But I think if we put like 2 or 3 people together from like SIG-Testing, we might be able to get some good answers here and also help spotlight the SIG. So this is a call for that. Brady, I don't know if you had anything more that you wanted to say on it.
No, I think just calling it to everybody's attention would be great. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good questions on here. Like I think I appreciate the quality of the questions. But I think we definitely do need several people to be able to answer these, like honestly. So yeah, if anyone's interested, I think just feel free to reply on the thread in the Slack channel or like otherwise let one of us know. Or if you have somebody to suggest. I am almost certain that Ben could answer a lot of these questions, but I'm curious who we have who is not Ben, so that he's not the first person on the block there.
Yeah, I like the idea of splitting that up, right? Because SIG-Testing is a very large umbrella.
Mhm.
And we do a lot of different things, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think I'm very interested in like the different answers people would give here, I think, because like I definitely have my own answers for some of these things for like what are the sub projects and like which areas we need help with or whatnot, but I'm sure I have a different perspective from like other folks here. Cool. I think that's it for now then. Is there any last minute stuff that folks want to talk about?
Yeah, I have one question. I'm reading this spotlight. What is this question related of long-term support working group? So who sent this questionnaire?
Oh, so that's a new initiative that was launched recently.
Yeah. That's it was discussed in the last QCon, right? My
I
question.
briefly saw it mentioned, but
Okay, so the thing is, the last QCon, so mainly Azure is interested in this. Is interested. Is promoting this, and there are other other areas of people that is interested in this. The CNCF representative was saying that was about regulatory environment, something like that. So they just basically want a long-term stable Kubernetes release, right?
mhm.
And I don't think that there's disagreement on that. The disagreement on this long-term support is how do we do that, right? So one option was saying, oh, let's keep 120 long-term support and then we keep growing. And the question is, oh, and how do people move from one long-term support to other? Because we don't have a skip upgrade, right? So you need to implement that. Then what is back portable to the long-term support? Because people say, but we want long-term support, but we want the new features. So that's what this group is going to discuss. But what I don't understand is why is this question here? Who sent the SIG-Testing spotlight Q&A?
I forget their name now.
They
They're in the
recently
SIG-Testing
completed a
channel.
post for another SIG. I can dig up what that looks like. I think sorry somewhere.
Yeah, they had some examples.
No, my question is why is this questionnaire about this? My question is, so this working group went through the official channel, right? It went to it looked for a SIG that sponsored the working group, and it was SIG architecture, and they started the thread, and they opened the issue, and they created the working group, and they have a chair and everything. So my question is, where is this document coming from? I mean, there is no. What, I don't understand what are the responsibilities of SIG-Testing as a sponsor of. I mean, it's like any other working group and SIG in Kubernetes.
We could maybe ask for some clarification on that. I suspect it's because we're listed as one of the stakeholder sites, but again, like long-term support is not an area that I like know a lot about. I think it would be fine to ask for some more clarification on like exactly what that question means.
All of the responsibilities we need to be in charge of understanding that this long-term. So, for example, is if they are going to create like 6 branches, we need to maintain 6 branches, and that's whatever implies on SIG-Testing, right? Maybe we don't support that in our tool, or maybe pro is going to use pro, or maybe I don't know, whatever we are doing, but what it means to have support 6 branches. So our responsibilities are the same. Okay, it was.
I think so. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Like, I assume there were any significant changes needed to like support the the testing infra side of it.
Yeah, all this stuff is important. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good call out. Hmm. There are a lot of SIGs mentioned for this working group as well. No, I think all of
Yeah.
these make sense.
No, the thing makes sense, but all the people that work in, I mean, I work at SUSE and Red Hat, and you know what is supporting this long-term support, and I can tell you that's a ton of people and a ton of effort just to have, I don't know, a 2 or 3 years old Kubernetes support, and a ton of money, of course.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else from folks?
Okay.
All right. I think that sounds like that's it. So thanks, folks. I'll go ahead and get the slides and take a look at the filming bootstrapped. But yeah, I'll try to get that within the next like couple hours.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks,
Bye.
folks.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, thank you.